Martin, just before he took up his position in Saskatchewan, said to me once that he never wrote the book. He wanted to somehow write a book about his life, but more about the ideas that he had. And he took leave from International Alert to take up the chair in Saskatchewan. And I met him after that, and he was very, very concerned at the time of International Alert. And he asked me in Prague, I remember, what the future direction of International Alert would be. I was a board member of International Alert. And he said to me a story which I would like to share with you. And that was, he said, Kumar, when Amnesty International was created by a few people, we met in a small room and nobody took the idea seriously. And we didn't have money. We had a good idea. We needed a Secretary General, but we didn't have the money to get a Secretary General. And we had to have a Secretary General to get the money. And this was the classic problem that Amnesty was in. And he then wrote to two donors, asking them to support and provide the resources for a Secretary General. And he wrote to Holland and to Norway. I asked him then to do a similar thing for International Alert. And he went up in Prague to his hotel, and he typed this letter. This is subsequently went to Jan Egeland in Norway and to Holland. And I think they both responded very, very strongly for the creation of the development of International Alert, which now becomes a sustainable organization. In terms of Martin's own vision, I think his conception was that human rights was a function of network and the division of labor. That many new institutions need to be created to fill the vacuum. And apart from the 12 or so institutions that it has to build, I think in the future we need to think about new institutions and mechanisms that need to be created to address some fundamental concerns. And I just want to highlight on one of them, and that is the question of systematic violations of human rights under conditions of war. And today, in particular, the violation of humanitarian law in so many areas, whether it is children or women, means that we can ignore institutions which can both monitor the violation of humanitarian law and bring the parties to account for themselves. And this is an area where I think International Alert also recognizes that there is a vacuum and that more work needs to be done and new institutions created to fill this vacuum so that parties to conflict account for themselves and there is a system of accountability for internal armed conflict. Finally then, I just also want to reflect on another concern of Martin, which was small arms and landmines. One of the programs that he started at International Alert was a program on small arms. And I was reflecting on the situation with regards to landmines today. And we again need to celebrate the fact that 10 years ago, a few people joined forces to abolish landmines. Today, at the end of the 21st century, we are almost getting there. And there is a global coalition which wants to abolish the use of landmines as a means, as a weapon to be used in war. And these all examples, whether it is Amnesty or Article 19, shows us one thing, that the determination to create new standards, new institutions and mechanisms for the 21st century, and I think there Martin is a single inspiration that we all